Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Can you all hear me and see me? And Graham is threatening to come and join us. Are you going to come and join us, Graham, or are you watching?
I'm just watching the television. I've got it up here.
Oh, you're waiting to see it. Right, I'll just check something on my phone. Hello, everybody.
Now it's live.
Excellent. Right, I'm just going to check it on my phone. Excellent. Right, I'm just going to...
Yeah, we got sound.
Yeah, I don't want to give any of them feedback.
No, turn that down.
I'm not seeing it on my
No,
channel.
It's live. It's live.
I'm just double checking something. Hello, hello. Good. Fiona Hall, you can hear us loud and clear. Excellent. Hi, Nancy, Texas, Princess Carol, Grumpy, everybody. Malika, haven't seen you in ages, but I haven't seen comments in ages and ages. My goodness me. And I would have been working my way through the comments today, but I've been busy reading the judgment. Now, what I'm going to do is put a link in the comments and I'll try and pin it to the actual 389-page judgment. And yes, you heard me right. I will put a link to that so that you can all, at your own leisure, there's the live.
Streamyard, yeah.
Right.
So this link here is a link to the judgment. Okay. She wanted to read it all before the live, but it's just like, oh, long.
Yeah,
No
right.
chance.
How do I pin a comment?
You can't. I don't think.
You can't. Oh, well, maybe I can on YouTube.
You've pinned it. There it is.
No, I've just highlighted it. I haven't pinned it at all. How do I stars it? I don't even know what that means. So, basically, it was apparently a 7-week trial. Obviously, there's more than one claimant. I think there was more than one defendant. My God, what a complicated...
I saw Kevin Webster had something to do with it, didn't he?
Yes, I believe he won. Well, that's not his real name. I don't know what his real name is.
No. I hardly recognised him. He had a little moustache and squeaky voice. Hey, last time I said it.
So, no, it's not showing in my studio at all. It won't show until later, I suppose. So, of the 389 pages, I have read about the first 30, where he starts to outline the case, the history of the case, why the cases or allegations have all been brought. And in the end, I thought, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to read this because it's nearly got as many pages as Harry's book Spare. I can't just read that in an hour and a half. And put the Christmas tree up. We got the Christmas tree up. But unfortunately, it looks like an act of God at the moment because of the lighting balance and the camera doesn't really want to show that. So we might, for tomorrow night, move this whole operation
we can
into the living room to make it a bit more Christmassy for you.
Get the camera to work a bit better.
Right. So what I did go to on that judgment is the Duke of Sussex on page 363, episode 1. So that he's broken it down into episodes. I suppose he means allegations of an article, particular article. Episode 1, alleged surveillance of Princess Diana by the Mirror between 1995 and 1997. 3 payment records on the SAFS system are relied on. Payments to Sevenside in relation to Christopher Wally, dated 18th 12th 95, Hasnet Khan, dated 25th of the 5th 96, and Steve Davis, dated 23rd of the 9th 96. No explanation is provided as to why these relate in any way to private information of the Duke. That's not an unreasonable thing for the judge to say, is it? Because it's all about Princess Diana. It's nothing to do with the Duke of Sussex.
He was too young to have a phone in those days, wasn't he?
Number 2 of episode 1. Mr. Sherborne said in opening that Steve Davis was a driver of Our Late Princess at the time of the DOS article 1, when Princess Diana visited the Duke at school, but there was no evidence to that effect or in relation to the other subjects of the Sevenside work. So that's Harry's own lawyer saying there's no evidence there, right? So we can just strike that one out. Episode 2.
Costs.
Now, they refer to things called UIG and VMI, which mean unlawful information gathering and voice message interception of Princess Diana by the Sunday Mirror between 95 and 97, and 2 payments, one to media investigations and one to Christine Hart, are said to relate to her confidants. Despite the dubious practices of the private investigators involved, there is no evidence to support any connection to Princess Diana, let alone the Duke's private information. Now, I mean, I haven't read this before. I'm reading this fresh with you guys. And that's about as far as I've got. And I won't bore the tits off you by reading it all out. But I would imagine there's a lot of it. A lot of it's going to end like that. This has absolutely nothing to do with the Duke of Sussex. And let's not forget, he won on 15 episodes. And there's a lot of episodes.
How many? 30 something, wasn't there?
I don't know. I'll go back to the thing and see how many episodes there are. And this is just Duke of Sussex, because Harry's is mainly voicemail interception. Now, the other things that they were talking about, unlawful information gathering, I'd never really understood what that was, but the judge does actually go into quite a lot of detail as to what exactly that is. Things, for example, which surprised me, but he is right, is people doing credit reference checks on somebody for the purpose of selling to newspapers. That's not what a credit reference check is for. And if you ever want to be able to do credit reference checks on people and sign up with companies like Experian, and what Experian do in a basic simplistic form is they go to the electoral register and they buy libraries of all the people who are registered to vote. And then they cross-reference that with another database that they get from county courts, whether people have been taken to court for debt, have any outstanding debt. And they put the two together. That's the basic principle. I'm sure a lot of you already know this. And you can sign up with Experian, Equifax, one of those credit reference agencies. In order to access the information, used to in my day, had to have a consumer credit license. And in my day, that was about 200 quid. And you had to have a data protection license. And I think it was the Data Protection Act 1984. And that was about 80 quid. And in those two acts, they kind of say, you can't just go credit checking people willy-nilly. But I mean, loads of people do it. First thing you do really is think, I wonder what my credit check's like. I wonder what my mum's credit check's like. And you do things like that. But it does take it somewhat of a step further when you do credit checks to sell to the newspapers. So that's one of the things that the claimants had alleged. And I haven't got to the part whether the judge sort of says he thinks that happened or didn't. Other things, burglary, car trackers, following people, photographing people in a clandestine fashion. I was surprised about that one because we've been photographed in a clandestine. You made a complaint. And that was the Mirror, wasn't it? And the Observer, or was it the Mail? Was it?
No, they stole my photograph that I took.
No. You went and met some journalists in a pub and they took a photograph of you.
You can't stop them.
No, you made a complaint to the press complaints at the time.
Yeah,
it's on the wiki
about
page.
The photograph. It was about the fact that they said they wouldn't use my photographs
No,
in their
it wasn't.
newspaper without paying me, and they just printed them in their newspapers. So I sued them. And
I'll have a look because I distinctly remember the photograph they took of you, and we complained to the press complaints,
but I don't
and
care.
they said something about newspapers are not allowed to take clandestine photographs. I'm sure I remember.
Well, they just do. They just bang it in your face. There's nothing clandestine about it, I suppose.
I think it's a Sunday Mirror.
That was MGM, wasn't it?
Yes, it is, isn't it? I'd forgotten that. He complained about an article about him and his partner contained inaccuracies and named their children. The complainant was also concerned that the newspaper had published a photograph, one of 3 which had been supplied to the reporter without consent, and had taken separate photograph of him in a clandestine manner.
Right.
Ka-ching, my memory's better than yours. So that apparently, so we were told at the time, and this is the Press Complaints Commission. I don't think they exist anymore. I can actually put a link to that one in the comments as well, because the trolls will go, oh, you're fucking making it up. And then they can go and have a look for themselves, can't they? So yeah, you can all have a look at that link.
Need to get rid of that.
Which is very, very short. I don't know if you guys can copy that or go to that link. And then you can see that was one of the things. They took a clandestine photograph of you in a pub. So the judge, the first 30 pages I read of this judgment, he was building what allegations have been made, haven't got to what his conclusions are. But one thing I will say is that I think Harry has done his own reputation more damage than ever just by bringing actions like this.
Well, it's not over yet, though, the trial, is it?
This particular one is, yeah. And
Have they done the costs yet?
Yes. Oh, no, that'll come later. Because some of the hearings, I mean, this is it was a 7-week trial. Before the trial, there will have been lots of applications from both sides. And I don't know about those applications. I don't know if...
He'd have won some of the applications and lost others, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, even if you lose an application, a judge might say, well, actually, no, you had good reason to bring that, so we'll decide that one at the end. Or they might say, no, I'm not awarding costs on that. They've got lots of options. So, yes, I would imagine there's going to be a bloody great fight. I mean, damages have been awarded. And what was it, 140,000 he was awarded? And 600, that's not very much, is it?
No, that's nothing.
And 7 weeks. Did you see how many lawyers were in David Sherborne's team?
He wanted 400 grand he put in for.
I can't imagine why you'd only ask such a piffling amount for a 7-week trial in the High Court. The legal fees in that. And the other thing is that apparently MGN, the PLC company, is called Reach. And apparently, years ago, they set aside something like £58 million in a trust fund in the eventuality of any lawsuits over phone hacking, etc., that they would dip into and use that money to pay off any claimants. And so the shareholders at Reach today have done a great big, bloody hell, is that all? 140,000, fuck me. And the shares have gone, woohoo! As a result of this ruling. So just goes to show how unpredictable not only court cases are, but shareholder reaction. I was surprised. I thought the shares would have gone down. I'd never even heard of Reach until today. Right, so let's have a look at some of your
comments.
I really don't understand why H&M needed to wash their dirty laundry in public. Very stupid decision. Absolutely, EDH. Absolutely. I mean, it's just made Harry's life. I just can't believe that if he had a time machine and he could go back in time, that he would choose to go through this again.
He's bored. He's got nothing else to do, has he?
No, I don't think it's boredom. He's a hothead.
Did you see him in The Crown? We watched all the episodes yesterday. And the guy who plays Harry made him look like a real prat. And there's one scene where he's got air rifles and they're hanging out the window of the palace. And they're shooting beer cans with air rifles. And they've got some lackey there standing the cans back up. And they started shooting them out of his hand. And anyone who's been in the army or anyone who's trained on a range, you'll go like this. Be turning like, oh my God, you couldn't watch it. It was like, you idiot.
It was hilarious. The guy who played him was hilarious, I thought. Every time he said something, we just burst out laughing.
Dressed as a Nazi at the party.
Because we know Harry as a character so much more as a result of him writing a book, etc., etc. Yes, I was just looking at a comment. Yes, Piers Morgan. Now, I don't know if all of you have heard Piers Morgan's statement. He's very, very clear.
He's livid.
I'm not sure I'd say he's livid, but he said a couple of things in it which really, really surprised me. So I will play it for you because Piers is very eloquent, clear, to the point. And a lot of the supporters of Harry and Meghan, let's put it that way, have sort of said, how did Piers get out of giving evidence in this trial? And I was very interested to hear what he had to say.
On various cases, including Prince Harry's claim against Mirror Group newspapers, where I was an editor until 2004. The judgment finds there is just one article relating to the Prince, published in the Daily Mirror during my entire 9-year tenure as editor, that he thinks may have involved some unlawful information gathering. To be clear.
So that's one story. There was only ever one story in this 7-week trial that was in question when Piers was editor. Only one story. So all these people who've been saying on X, Piers Morgan's going to go to jail. Piers Morgan was involved. There's only ever been one story, okay? And he says he's never hacked and never asked anybody to hack.
I had then, and still have, zero knowledge of how that particular story was gathered. All his other claims against the Daily Mirror under my leadership were rejected. With regard to the judge's other references to me in his judgment, I also want to reiterate, as I've consistently said for many years now, I've never hacked a phone or told anybody else to hack a phone. And nobody has produced any actual evidence to prove that I did. I wasn't called as a witness, it's important for people to know this, by either side in the case, nor was I asked to provide any statement. I would have very happily agreed to do either or both of those things had I been asked. Nor did I...
So that's very interesting. He was never asked by either side to give evidence or a statement. I didn't know that until I heard him say that today. Don't you find that surprising when so many sugars have been saying, Piers is going to go to jail? What the fuck for? And why, when they complained he wasn't in court, why wasn't he called by either side? He could have been called by Harry's side.
He wasn't. You can't invite yourself into a court.
No, you can't.
You have to be summoned, subpoenaed, as they call it.
And although Piers goes on to say all the defamatory and smearing things that were said about him in court, it's a court of law. He can't sue for defamation over that. But yes, you're right, guys. Harry and Meghan have made a terrible enemy of Piers Morgan, and quite unnecessarily so as well. That was all down to Meghan being a bitch with him, wasn't it? It was completely unnecessary from the beginning. She could have handled that so much better.
Hi, Imogen. She's in the hair.
Hi, Mode. Oh, I know. Well, the sugars do. They're just ridiculous. They think that if they say something, therefore it will come true. They say all manner of stuff about all sorts of people, including me, that they declare as fact all over X, such as I'm a criminal when I don't have a criminal record. I'm a cocaine addict when I've never taken cocaine in my life. I'm a drug-addled criminal slag. I'm fat. There could be a little truth in that one. I'm ugly. There could be a little truth in that one. But the fact that they say that I take drugs and I've got a criminal record as long as a loo roll, they might as well say I've got 3 legs. That doesn't make it true. I only have 2 legs. And I see them saying shit about other people. Just saying shit don't make shit fact or true. They just go around saying these things.
Yeah, but if you tell a lie often enough, people will believe it.
That's true, I suppose.
So, wasn't that Herman Goring or Goebbels or someone like that?
Yes.
The Ministry of Bullshit.
I mean, it's, as a lot of you know, in a lot of my videos, I often say, don't take my word for it. I could be wrong. If I know I'm absolutely right about something, I'll say, I'm certain about that. That's a fact. But I don't say that kind of stuff lightly or very often. It's mostly about opinion piece. And what stuns me about these sugars is if they do really love and support Meghan and Harry, why not go out there in a reasonable manner and fight their corner and come out with some great facts that support Meghan and Harry, rather than just talking shit that just makes everybody dismiss you and not listen to a word you say. I haven't got to the part where apparently the judge found Omid Scobie convincing. I haven't come to that part. I do look forward to reading that. And if I disagree with the judge, I will be critical of that comment, just as I was of Warby, who I think was a complete idiot. And I really hate the sound of the word emboldened. And this will embolden, well, certain people, not all. I don't think it'll embolden Harry. I bet Harry's weeping into his empty wallet right now, stressed to hell.
Yeah, but his dad's a billionaire, don't forget. Just has to drip feed him the odd million, doesn't he?
Well,
there's a few million to keep you going.
What would you do as a father?
Well, if he was my son, I'd drip feed him on minimum wage. Just make sure he had enough money.
I bet you wouldn't, actually, because it's always me the kids come to for money. They come to you for other things, but they all come to me for money. And I always crack like an egg. So no, I don't think you would. Speaking of Charles, so he went to visit the court the day before. I have mentioned this. I don't feel there's any skullduggery going on, and I don't feel, or I don't like to feel, that Charles had any influence over the decision. And I seriously doubt it, having looked at this 389 pages. It's not, the judge didn't write that up between yesterday and today. 389 pages of a judgment. It's not like the judge just gave a few words and went, yeah, in favour of Harry. That's it, done. Those 389 pages will have taken months to write up, and they are technical legalities. So no, I don't believe there's any skullduggery, but I do believe it's an extremely bad PR look for Charles to have been there, even if the appointment was booked months before. And as someone on X said, if he didn't want to turn up near or on or around any of Harry's court cases, you know, just like don't go near the court for the next couple of years, Charles, because Harry's living in the court there at the moment. He's got so many lawsuits. But if I'd been Charles's advisor, I'd have said, no, stay away.
He was probably giving out knighthoods to all the court staff.
No, he wasn't. He was just.
Remember who's boss?
Well, you see, it's going to make for a conspiratorial breeding ground for people like Graham. It will. There will be a lot of people who will say Charles was there the day before, and then the court found in favour for Harry. That's. I mean, the people who work for Charles should have said a diplomatic cold would be a good idea. Stay away.
Rory
stay
Stewart
away.
Wouldn't have fallen for that one. He'd have advised to stay away.
It was completely ill-advised for him to go anywhere near the court. I know it's his court, King's Court. So, I mean, Charles trying to influence the judge, I think, would make the judge go against Charles's wishes. I do. I mean, gone are the days of the Stuarts when they threatened to cut the judge's head off if they didn't do as they were told.
Rule in my favour, or I'll have you executed. Judge Jeffries was executed in the end, wasn't he?
And I mean, as I say, 389 pages of a judgment was not written overnight. David Sherborne's thing he read out, Harry's statement, which was very lengthy, that wasn't written overnight. Certainly wasn't written in the last few seconds after the judgment. All these things have been prepared in advance, most definitely. Well, Bob Seeley is certainly, I don't know if it's going to go through, but he's certainly making a point. I'm trying to get home to block me. Get him to block me. Okay. I'm not sure. Harry, the Duke of Sussex is here. I'm trying to speak with father-in-law, but he told me to bugger off, you ginger tosser. Royals never losing court, now been reinforced. Well, you are definitely entitled to that opinion, and there will be a lot of people who have that school of thought. There definitely will. And unfortunately, very, very foolish from a PR point of view for Charles to go anywhere near the court. Anywhere near. Very foolish of his advisors. They should have cancelled or come up with a reason that a diplomatic reason why he couldn't go. Because it will feed into it. It will definitely feed into it.
Of course it will. Even though I'm sure it's not the case.
And people are entitled to the opinion you have, that you think, well, it's the King's Court.
I don't actually have that opinion, but, you know, it's difficult, isn't it? If all the judges work for the King and you're trying to sue the King's son for something, they're not going to rule against the King, are they? They're just not. I think they're bound to be in favour of the King, whatever you say. Even though they pretend to be impartial. I
disagree. I think they are impartial. I think the judiciary are impartial. I think that
they're supposed to be.
The history and everything.
Well, you know, when you've been promised a knighthood in a big house, the country estate, and goodness knows else. Oh, go on then, sire. Not guilty. I'd fall for it. I was a judge.
These are scurrilous accusations you're making towards the King and the bench.
If I was a judge, I'd be bribed. Of course I would. If he offered me enough money, I could lock all the newspapers up as well. For castle.
But that sort of thing doesn't go on, and judges have.
I'm sure it doesn't. I was joking.
Judges have something called tenure, don't they, where they can't be fired. For a judge to be fired, they've got to do something really heinous, like murder somebody or several people.
I don't think Judge Jeffries was actually executed. I think we're going to execute him. The hanging judge. He was just like totally bent, wasn't he?
I don't know.
And,
I never heard of him.
He just hanged everybody that came up in front of him, and I think they threw him in jail. They were going to execute him, and I think he died. He died of something.
I do agree with Queenie Morris that the judges don't give a toss about us. they don't give a toss, and that they do lose touch with reality. They really do.
Chauffeur-driven Rolls Royce going to the court and back and that. You know, I can't see why you've been thieving bread. You can't possibly be that hungry. I'm not hungry. No, I'm on my Rolls Royce.
I'm with Graham on courts, MM payout and win, she lied. Well, that was astonishing. Warby, the idiot, allowing the very suggestion of something called misremembering. I wonder how Jeffrey Archer feels when he was sent to prison for perjury. Oh, where was the misremembering defence in his day? No, I will never let that one go. To the day of my dying breath, I will never let that go. He was sent to prison
for conspiracy with unknown people. How can he conspire with unknown people?
He was sent to prison for perjury.
And conspiracy with unknown people.
King Chuckle Cheese is an idiot. Why go to your court? Sorry, I don't believe this bullcrap. He is weak and pathetic. And you're perfectly entitled to say that, Larry D.
He wouldn't need to go to the court to bribe. He could send people to bribe judges, couldn't he, if he wanted to? Hypothetically, if that's what he was going to
exactly.
do.
It would be very,
I don't believe he did do that, for sure.
It would be really stupid of him to go in person and have the press taking pictures of him there with the
dangling
judge.
guns.
But I do understand, and I'm sure the monarch himself understands and accepts criticism. That is part of being a monarch. But no, I don't think that there was anything like that. However, judges themselves might feel, without a monarch saying anything, oh, I better not do anything. It's the king's son. Hello. How can we help?
Jeopardise my OBE.
The cat wants to be left by the fire. No, look at her face. She was asleep.
No, she was by the fire. I turned around because I thought she was outside. She stood up, meowed for me, and I picked her up, and now she's here.
Well,
also, hello, Tudor.
Well.
I'm trying to get Princess Carol's says. Pussycat.
Pretty.
I'm trying to find a babysitter. What for, Harry? I'm sure there are nannies and stuff around. Oh, good. I'm glad it's the perfect time for Oklahoma. Excellent. We'll do the lives more or less around the same time, I think, every day, unless it's really awkward for some people, maybe in Australia. Then we can do some at different times.
736 on board at the moment. Don't forget to hit the like, everybody. Only if you like it.
Yes, only if you like it. Yes, he's saying like hello to Nixie and Daphne, the cats.
Oh yes, Foxy's on here. Saw Foxy earlier. Is he still here?
Maybe H is fighting so hard for IPP status, so the IRS can't touch them or Samantha lawsuit. Yeah, again, I don't know how much protection IPP gives them. You're probably right. It's like a level of diplomatic immunity, isn't it? I mean, that's the big one, isn't it? That's the one everybody cares about. I've got to say, the British press have always been extremely unpopular. I mean, they're like the villains of the piece. And I've noticed that during all these lawsuits of Harry's, he's actually managed to get us, the public, to sympathise greatly with these monsters of Fleet Street. Isn't that incredible? Nobody else.
Give her a spare corgi.
Oh, it's a stretch dog, look. Ben won it in a fair.
It's a stretchy
I came home
corgi.
and I found that. I thought it was a pig at first, but it's a corgi. Yeah, so Harry's actually made the newspapers really popular. When we all hated the newspapers before, as a result of his court cases, we're all like rooting for the newspapers. How bizarre is that? That's how despised he is. Anyone else find that extraordinary? IPP also gives him access to security details of others. Yes, like your names and addresses and contact details on social media. Or has he got access to all that already? Because he's mates with people at Google, Alphabet Inc. and YouTube. Not so much matey with the current owner of X, though, is he?
Details, couldn't he, to other people.
Right. Oh, whoa, that's early. That's early. So maybe we could do it a little later. So but then you've got 4 time zones, I think, in Australia. I'm pretty sure I've got my clocks and all my labels turned up.
Yeah, you can set all your clocks now, can't you?
He just keeps pushing his brother further and further away with everything he does. I think Charles is a different story. I sit here and think, why? Yeah, there needs to be clarity. I mean, I read an article in Hello magazine today where they said something like 14 of the best photographs of Prince Archie. They referred to him as Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet throughout the whole article, but in the second paragraph they said Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet are private citizens. Well, are they or aren't they? They're on the website. They're in the line of succession. Their parents fought for them to have royal titles. That is not the sign of a private citizen, is it? Or is it?
No, if you're a prince or a princess, you're not a private citizen, are you?
I wouldn't have
Sorry.
I wouldn't have thought. I mean, why, if you're watching Wally, we love you very much. Yes, we do. I haven't heard anything from Wally lately at all. Not in a long time. Yes, she does live in England. She's on a flying visit. She's come back to visit us to bring her boyfriend to meet us. Who's here. Braden, come and say hello.
Hello.
Come on, don't be shy.
I'm very shy.
Braden has only just got his passport and this is his first visit abroad.
Yeah.
And he wanted to come and see what Spain was like.
First time on an EasyJet.
Yep, first time on a boat today. We took him to see the boat. He's never been on a boat.
We took him on the Thames.
Oh yes, you went on that boat on the
Went on
Thames
Thames,
with
yeah.
us.
On my
yeah.
channel, if you look on my channel,
So
you can see a few.
this is a
videos.
special visit. They flew back on the same plane with us. By
Yeah.
surprise. They got a cheap deal on a ticket. I can't think how. Anyway, you guys go and enjoy yourselves. We are behind you here in Cyprus.
No, they're ahead of us in Cyprus.
Oh, 1 hour behind.
They should be 1 hour ahead because they're east and we're western Mediterranean. Cyprus is eastern Mediterranean.
Oh, hello, wonderful boyfriend of Lady Light. Thank you, Foxy. How can Has-Been win with the performance he gave in court? It was abysmal and very little evidence. Well, as I was saying at the beginning, if you go and actually read the judgment, the first two things, they basically say there's no evidence. I mean, there's another one here. The combination of Bowden and Empinson is suspicious, but there's no indication of what this work is or relates to. Not even an explanation of Nigel Martin, which is an indicative of the lack of seriousness with which the claimant's legal team took these episode allegations, despite the burden that they placed on others to deal with them. It seems that they expect to ride home on the back of findings about the private investigators concerned, which in many cases were not supported by evidence. So I'm starting to see throughout this judge's judgment, he's constantly saying there is no evidence.
She's tucking into your whiskey.
Oh, don't tuck into the whiskey too much. Okay.
It's a very small pint.
A very small pint of whiskey.
Let me have a swig. Let me have a little swig. Let me have a little swig.
I just asked you if you wanted something. You've been looking at me saying no, no, no.
These are your mother's special crystal glasses. Don't smash it.
Oh, yeah.
Did I pour a bit too much in that?
It's only a little nip.
To be fair, it's really hard to tell. How
It
much
is
you're
hard to
pouring in
tell
that
in those
glass.
glasses.
Do you want some more?
No, I don't.
Okay.
There's another one. An invoice dated 2002 for inquiries by TDI is, however, likely to be unlawful. However, the inquiries are about F. Shand Kidd, so it is speculation that this divulged private information of the Duke. So again,
It's definitely not a single malt.
there's another one is irrelevant. Just picking out about an invoice. This is unconnected. I mean, there's loads and loads of this.
There's over 300.
I'm on page
Nearly 400
367 and it just goes on and on and on. And he's only one on 15. Look at all that, Graham.
I know, she's got a different window up here now and she's just
I might be
scrolling
able
down
to share the window, actually. I could try and do that. Now, how did we do that
I think you have
before?
to click on that. Or was it this
No,
this
no,
one?
it was in present.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I shouldn't
Share
bother.
screen. Oh, no, it needs 2 monitors.
I'm sure I was right to begin with.
Right,
Let's just close that.
Duke of Sussex. Share. There. That's the judgment that I've got there on the screen.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to the bit just at the beginning where it starts with Duke of Sussex. I mean, look at how many pages they are. There we go. This is the Duke of Sussex. And this very first one, this sentence here says, no explanation is provided as to why these relate in any way to private information of the Duke. That's the very first one. And it goes on and on and on.
Oh, barristers must have to read all this shit all the time. Must have to learn to speed read. Click on that there. That's it. And get rid of this.
So, I mean, all you've heard, I assume so far, I missed that one. Black belt barrister, where's it gone? Yeah, black belt barrister read out the summary. I saw that. The summary is nothing. It's nothing. The 386-page judgment, that is something. But I can understand why Daniel needed to get a video out. There's no way, unless he's the quickest speed reader on earth, that he could read 386 pages. But I'm sure he will be doing a follow-up video. I'm sure I will as well. Faith, please don't make her cry. In the days and weeks to come, because it is worth going through, because you've got to read the entire judgment in its full. And they're obviously, David Sherborne's not going to come out and say all the bad bits, is he? He's come out with this grand statement from Harry, but in which he did actually say that he was fighting with dragons and he accepted getting burned. Harry himself has said that. I'm going to get another cup of tea. Back in a sec.
Do you want me something?
No, it's all right. I can get out. I'm perfectly all right. You carry on reading some comments.
I'll carry on. Fiona got the Christmas tree out last year today to put up. And last year what I'd done is I unplugged it, twisted it in half, popped the two halves, and I just rammed it in the cupboard, with all the baubles on and the tinsel. And I thought, well, when we get it out this year, just screw it back together, pop the plug in, and it'll still come on. And you might have to titillate it a bit and bend the branches. She went mad when she discovered I hadn't taken all the decorations off and put them all in the little tins. Just time-saving idea in action from the Baron. Wasn't appreciated at all. Right, where are we? Welly girl. Harry used to fight his dragon wife. Used to fight his dragon wife. Foxy. Hello. Lovely Tony. The dog feels better. Oh, yes. Deepest condolences for Trevor's dog. It didn't make it, did it? Oh, yeah. Children are private citizens, they're not of royal blood. I think for that truth to come out. I'm not convinced he's got any children, I've said that before. You'll have to prove it to me. What happened to the mysterious Mr. Bond? Oh, yes, well, Fiona did interview Mr. Bond, and he came out with some outrageous things which we couldn't just upload. So we are going to edit the Mr. Bond interview, and obviously there's some bits we have to take out. We can't leave in. And yes, we will do that. Thanks for reminding me, Sharon. Jamba. Good to see you all safely home, yeah. Judges arrived in periods, etc. Well, it's possible, isn't it? I'm not saying that they are. But they could be. And if I was a judge, I'd definitely be up for the odd bribe if it was worth my while. I mean, it's the king, isn't it? He's bribing you, so you're not going to get booted, are you? If you get caught accepting bribes, and nice ones, and estates and castles and things. Right. Can the settlement ever be challenged in the UK court as a US citizen? I don't know the law. Things can be appealed in the UK. You can go to the Court of Appeal, which generally just go with the ruling anyway, unless you've got some like strikingly new evidence. And it just costs you even more money to get a knockback from there.
Quick question.
Go on.
Where's Ben?
He's on his PlayStation. He's got a new PlayStation.
Oh, he's on the landing.
He's on the landing because he's got an Ethernet cable.
Oh, right. Because I was going to say, I was sure he was.
Well, my flight simulator's plugged into the other one.
Right. Okay.
And he's got his steering wheel set up. He's Formula One-ing on his PlayStation 5 or whatever it is. All the children are here. Shame they won't all be here for Christmas, but never mind.
Well, I think Ben's coming. I don't think Faith is. Let me check the flyer as well.
Should be flying, no doubt.
Flying away soon, yeah.
Cat's annoyed. Bobo, she's called Bobo. And she gets fussed by young Faith a lot.
She's probably enjoyed having a bit of peace and quiet for us. The whole house to herself. Yes.
Suzanne says she's got 8 trees up.
8 trees? Well, I wanted to do a bit of a forest of trees, but they were so naff. When I got to the shop, they were really uninteresting.
The best one in the shop I picked, wasn't it? And how much was that?
Oh, about €100. The white one that's like ours, €75. I thought, do me a favour, I'm not spending that. Rather make my own Christmas tree out of my offcuts of my own hair or something.
Yeah, are you coming back, Fiona?
You are?
Are you coming back?
I am. The kettle took as well to boil.
Ah.
I'm really thirsty tonight. Must have eaten something salty.
Harry would never have won this case if it was tried in the US.
Well, I don't.
There'd have been a jury.
I suppose it depends which state.
It's all different, isn't it, in the US? Yes, that's the point. Different states.
Very different state to state, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose you have a better chance in a better state and no chance in another. I don't know. I'm only guessing. I've never been to the States, so I've only know what I've seen on American TV shows, which is not really a good source, is it? I've never understood the live recordings, but it clicks. Yes. Well, I've always talked about live recordings when it comes to court cases. Is that what you're talking about, too? You see, if you want to find out what happened in a court in the UK and you weren't there, you can apply for transcripts, and what you get is a load of papers with who said what, like a script, like in a play. You can't really see body language or anything like that, and body language is very important.
It is.
If you're giving evidence in court, you want to be able to acquire the video of the whole court case afterwards and see everyone that said what. So it's as good as being there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because when people ask questions, did you kill him? No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I mean, there's in words, it says exactly the same thing. It throws a completely
different connotation.
Body language people can read into something. The British are miles behind the Americans in that respect.
Well, the Court of Appeal do lives.
They do some sentencing.
I subscribe to their YouTube channel.
Live.
They do a lot live. But I think the High Court should have televised all of this. I think they should televise all of them. It's justice. The public pay for the justice system, more or less. Yeah. And everybody should need access to it.
Well, there is an argument that you got all the press outside and they're all replaying it all. So I would argue that the whole thing should be videoed, and the video should not be available until the end of the trial, when the trial's over. Then you can apply for the transcript video, and you get the video and you can watch the whole thing if you really wanted to, look at it in detail. But then you'd be picking too many holes in the cases, I suppose. But that's rather than transmitting it live every single day. But there are cases that draw a lot of public attention, you see, and you should have video evidence of people giving witness testimony, for sure. Because the video, the body language gives a lot away, such a lot away. It's not just what you say, it's how you come across in your body language, I think. It's my opinion.
Interesting you should say that. I've been watching the Depp Heard Netflix show, which for me is a lot easier. I'd never followed the story. Obviously, I couldn't help but notice things like she was nicknamed Amber Turd for obvious reasons. But I've been watching this Netflix thing, and it's actually really good. The people who've made it, I can clearly see, are trying to back up Amber Heard, but they're making it a lot worse. And Graham and I have watched 1 or 2 episodes, and we've both looked at each other and said, she's fucking lying. She's lying, and Depp isn't. It's obvious.
You just read that.
It's the body language.
In
Yeah,
pages.
yeah.
All you'd read is what she said. You wouldn't see how she said it. And it's seeing how she said it, you think, nah, she's lying. That's how it comes across to me. Have you lost the page?
No. Moj has just sent me a WhatsApp, and I thought I might be able to share it. I don't know if it's on here. It's Harry and Meghan have just released their Christmas card.
Oh, no.
No kids at all in it, apparently. Oh, here we go. Oh, People magazine. Right. I hate this EU thing now where we have to accept cookies, don't accept cookies. I really hate that. So I will put this on a split screen so you can all see. You might have already seen it. I don't know. Where do I do that? How do I do this? Oh, it's present, isn't it? Slides.
You don't have any slides.
Yeah.
You don't have any slides.
It says present.
Just click on that one there, that icon there.
Which one?
Go up.
I'm on slides.
Do you know which way up is?
Yeah.
There, click that. There you go. Now you've got to select.
But that's
click on that and click on the page that you want. Never mind.
Well, it doesn't work like that. You've got to go to present. I think it was extra camera. Oh no, it's not extra camera. I did it a minute ago.
Anyway, feel free to Google it.
Well, I know it doesn't interest you, but people would like to see. I think it might be. Is it Google Slides?
I'm on the wrong side of the mouse. I think I could.
You reckon you could find it? Well, tell me which one it is. I think it's Slides.
Give me the mouse. I would go on that one there.
Right.
Where's the page gone?
Well, there isn't one. You've got to choose it by choosing presentation. And then you choose a window. That's how I did it before. Give me the mouse.
Give up on that.
Oh, the thing's hitting the keyboard. Could you shut that door? Because I think he's going to start
Shouting.
Yeah, he is, definitely. I'll take a screenshot of it because I've just found another way that I can do it. If I can use the grab tool. Where's your grab tool, Graham? Oh, there, I see it. Holiday card. See the photo they chose. Is it? Can't. Oh my God! Yes, it really is. That is a Christmas card.
It's got a play button in the middle of it, has it?
Right, now I want capture. This microphone thing is in the way. I do it. So go there, and then it's capture selection.
Window. Drag it. That's it.
Right, and then I give it a name.
Control save.
Just call it Christmas card.
Let's save. Yeah.
And then if I go back to Streamyard and we do present.
You haven't got any slides.
Slides, yeah, your computer.
Upload file.
And there it is.
It's long format. It's not a slide.
Oh.
You did say you don't have any
How
slides.
did I manage to open the Court of Appeal thing a minute ago?
You got to import the picture into Streamyard. I've done it before, but I can't remember how you do it.
I literally did it earlier. That's how we had it on the screen. We had a split screen.
I don't remember.
This microphone's driving me crazy because it's like a big blob in front of.
Lady Jane. Lady Jane's here. Hello, Lady Jane. Hello, my loves.
Right, I think I've done it now. So yes, seeing what people say in court is essential because things can be read in very, very different ways.
Look, let me do it. You just talk to the people and let me try and get it up.
No, it's not. Definitely not in settings.
That's virtual background.
It's definitely not in
settings.
settings. I can't see anything when you've got the screen open. I can't see their comments. What, no kids on the Christmas card? No, it's a picture of Harry and Meghan at one of their Invictus things where she wore the green sort of tubular dress. It was definitely in present, definitely. I think what you've got, oh, I get it. I think I know what happened. You see this window here? I think you choose that and then present, yeah? A share screen.
Meghan Markle, top one as well.
That's the one. That's how you do it. There you go, guys. That's it. I can make it bigger. Let's try that. There. This here. That's their Christmas card. How festive. And it says, what's the writings? On behalf of the office of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Archwell Productions and Archwell Foundation, we wish you a very happy holiday season, not happy Christmas. Thanks for all the support in 2023. Oh my God, that's sarcastic, isn't it?
Didn't you say there was someone in charge of Archwell Productions who knew someone else? Like Elmwood Scobie, really good mates.
No, her friend Marcus Anderson. There's some sort of connection between. Right, so then I can do stop screen and then it comes back. Right, so you have, when you want to share another window, you choose one of these formats where you've got a presentation. You can have the whole screen, you little at the bottom, or two people little, or one, that sort of thing. So you highlight one of them first and then you go to present and then a share screen. Right, didn't know that before. That was very technical.
Well, there you go.
I'm going to go through that entire judgment because, yes, why can't they have cameras in the High Court? Why not? I mean, they've had cameras in court for years.
I think they don't want to because they get away with things they wouldn't get away with if there was cameras in there.
I don't know. I mean,
that's my opinion.
A court is supposed to be open justice, isn't it? And then, like, we're all thinking who's really won and who hasn't. Whereas if everybody was able to watch the whole thing as they were going along, and it seems...
Or afterwards. I think afterwards would be more fair rather than live at the time.
No, I think live at the time. It seems to me that the court cases in America that are televised live, the judge tends to come to the conclusion that the general audience does, like they're lying through their teeth. That's because
the judge can see the witness. They can see how they're giving their evidence. Whereas if you said, oh, no, the judge can't look at the witness's face, he's behind the screen. They go, no, I need to see him.
Well, Mummy said no more Call of Duty or GTA. Shouldn't be playing either of those.
I don't know what's his latest game.
Finally got to the live. Hello, Joanne. Yeah. Right. Anybody else see that Teresa Longo fans tweeted on X that there was a crisis meeting at WME yesterday, apparently? Anybody heard any more about that? Dear all things precious, Sussex fail again in US. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Sussex late granny was the head of the Church of England. No respect for his family. Maybe he's not there with her. Maybe she's released that. Maybe neither of them are there and they're PR. I don't know what that means.
I don't believe they've got any kids and I don't believe they're together unless they prove it to me.
I don't really care if they've got kids
No,
or
I don't
not.
care. I don't care either.
I don't care. I mean, they're not, at least Archie and Lily haven't got a bio on the website as working royals. My God. They had a bio as working royals. I mean,
they have their money, Daddy, in the
just
meantime.
make Buckingham Palace look like an absolute laughing stock, wouldn't it? Absolute laughing stock.
Archie Regent.
Apparently, the crisis meeting was about the Christmas card, and I reckon she is being dropped by WME. I'm wondering if she has been dropped some time ago. And I mean, as I said in my video today, even David Sherborne, you know, he was like the celebrity sparkling barrister. He's got a stain on his glittering career now.
Miss Tabs.
I mean, if I was an A-lister, I wouldn't touch him with a barge pole after this. And we can all be very picky about our barristers.
He gets paid. He gets to put more petrol on his Porsche, doesn't he? And have a bottle of champers. Oh, never mind, we won. Oh, never mind, we lost. Oh, pop another cork.
He gets paid anyway, doesn't he?
Driving long piss. No, I'm sure he wouldn't do that. He'd be far too responsible to do that.
Okay, question for everybody. Do you believe that Harry is already in the UK and is going to turn up at Christmas in Sandringham and walk up to the church with the royal family? Anybody here think that might be the case? We should run a book on it, shouldn't we? We should. What can we bet? Let's not bet money.
A pound.
I'll have to think of something to bet.
Pound. $1.
I've still got the dollar in the bedroom to give to Sue Smith. I framed it.
Yeah. She can have the frame as well.
Oh, it's Ralph here. Ralph Owens is a big supporter of Harry and Meghan. Well, I don't know. Actually, he loves the Queen, late Queen. He loves Princess Diana. I'm right there with him on both of them. And he seems to hate everybody else. I'd like to know what Ralph thought of season 6 of The Crown. What did you think, Ralph? I quite liked it, but I did feel they completely twisted royal history, if you know what I mean, completely. And I didn't like season 5 with all the stuff about Diana. I didn't like any of that at all. Are you in the UK and are you going to Sandringham for Christmas? Yes, you're quite right, Rhea. As soon as we've got Harry in the chat, horse's mouth, let him answer the question. Oh, I think William would throw. Oh, God, I misread that. I thought William would throw a gold turd at him. A royal turd. This is a dog turd. Never mind.
I reckon Wills would have his air rifle and be shooting at him and going down the path, wouldn't he?
Yes, Fiona, I do think he's lurking somewhere. Not sure of turning up at the church. I think so. I feel Charles is maybe trying to smooth things over for Harry, not Meghan, and that Harry's been quivering and cowering and camping out in the UK, waiting for them to smooth it over. And perhaps he will be there.
They'll kiss and make up one day and he'll toss him a few million to keep him going.
When Meghan's gone.
And a new Range Rover, of course. I'm getting a new one next week.
Teresa Bennett, I don't think that would do anything at the church, but he better not go to the house. Well, let's see. Let's see, Teresa, shall we? It will be interesting. WME told Yoko Soho to only show up in public looking glam and only speak about her being a loving mother. If Sock Puppet shows up at family gathering, all backing for King Charles III, I'm guessing will probably be gone. Why was Charles at the courthouse to pay Harry? Well, yeah.
He shouldn't have gone. He should have
stayed away.
It just brings up that kind of question. That's what we said earlier. Why were you there? Who's seeing?
Why do we need a Christmas card from them? Yes. I suppose it's for their fans. Sugars. Oh, you can't begrudge the Sugars a Christmas card. I mean, they can do that if they want. You're
perfectly entitled to like Harry and Meghan if you want to, just because everybody else doesn't.
Now we know
you don't feel intimidated.
Where the missing funds from Archwell charity have disappeared to. What, on the Christmas card? Maybe into some judge's pocket. Oh, I didn't say that. Merry Christmas from Australia.
You can't suggest for one moment.
I tell you what, I will read.
Judicially or bends. Not at all.
I will read the whole judgment quite thoroughly, and I will highlight points, and I will come back to you with points, definitely, of what I think. I'm not a lawyer. And I'm sure Black Belt Barrister will do the same, although he will probably do it in more than one video. And he's got another channel, which he does with another gentleman, and I forget his name to my shame. He's called Alan, I think, Alan something. I've totally forgotten, and I really like him. And the two of them sit and chat, so I'm sure they'll chew the fat.
It's like a barrister
ninja,
isn't he? Trains barristers.
Like
master.
To be contentious in court training.
A professor. Black belt barrister.
Meghan wants to come back in the new year. She wants a new role in politics. Is there a vacancy soon? I noticed that some of these weird puff pieces were suggesting that Charles was going to have the new year in Balmoral with Harry and Meghan, but traditionally the monarch stays in Sandringham for the new year. The Queen.
It's a new monarch now, though, so he can change it how he wants it.
Have you got any idea how much effort it is for the royal household to shift from one house to another? You think they're going to pack up a couple of hundred suitcases, load of servants, trot up to
It's no effort. It's no effort at all. Right? The king just gets in his helicopter.
Momo. Now, Momo is a supporter of Harry.
They're all there bowing.
Have I got the right Momo? I would think of family as in with your children in the photo Christmas card is part of being a loving mother, especially when the charity is named after your son. Yes, but he's not in it, Momo. Archie's not that I can see. It's just Harry and Meghan at Invictus. I mean, I just love that little bit they put at the bottom that says, "Thanks for all your support in 2023." I think that's so sarcastic. Oh, look, I've made it big.
Can they see it?
No, I can share it again. Right, so I choose the thing, present, share screen, and then that one. Yeah, get a load of that.
Are you sure they can see it?
At the bottom there. Thanks.
Click on Streamyard again. Oh yeah, they can see it.
Thanks for all the support in 2023. It doesn't say thank you to all our supporters or anything. Thanks for all the support. That's got to be sarcastic, hasn't it? Oh, she looks like such a lunatic in that picture.
Meghan needs to bring out a book, advice to mothers on how to be mothers and things like that, motherhood. And let her she could give us our tips and everything, couldn't she?
Ralph. Hey, who removed my comment? No, nobody's removed any comments, Ralph. I particularly wanted to know, what did you think of season?
Get him up on a live. Do you want to come on, Ralph?
No, I've asked him before. He says no. Prefer to keep his anonymity.
Anonymousness.
That's fine. But have you watched season 6 or season 5 of The Crown? I particularly really enjoyed this one. I didn't like the sort of weird ghosty bits with Princess Margaret. I thought they were a bit chocolate boxy. But on
Margaret's
the whole,
not dead though, is she? So far.
Yeah. Did you not watch the one where she died?
No.
Yeah. I think you might have gone to bed or something, or got bored.
I said, not at all. I saw the one where the Queen Mother died, and then right at the end, the Queen's looking at her own funeral, Margaret died. Through their own funeral arrangements. That must be creepy, mustn't it?
I've got to put my glasses on. I'm sure I saw Ralph there a minute ago.
He was there a minute ago.
Ralph, stand down, dear. Yeah, Ralph has a very passionate way of putting across their opinion. So I don't know if Ralph's a boy or a girl. I'm sorry, but judges are far from impartial. Here in the UK, they still support fox hunting, illegal for 20 years. Some heinous acts brushed over as the hunters tend to be the rich.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with fox hunting laws or how. I know it was
when they clamped down on everybody's firearms. The only people that were not affected were the hunters with the over and unders, the clay pigeon and the no bother whatsoever. Everyone else had rules and regulations and foot pressed on your head, but not them.
Right. They were going to use a picture of the late Queen, right? Possibly. Ho Ralph. He's gone quiet at the moment, unless he's typing a long comment somewhere. Yes. So, this is an interesting one. I think we're all being used, and behind the scenes, Charles, Harry, and Meghan have all made up. H is in the USA to mix with politics. Who knows, really? I mean, that's the interesting part about this family. Nobody really knows for sure. I suppose actions speak louder than words. That's what it was with the late Queen. It was always more her actions, wasn't it? And the same with Catherine and William. Meghan accused the royal family she always had to wear beige. They weren't allowed to wear the same colour. So last year, Catherine did her carol service and they all wore the same colour. To make the point, that's bullshit. We can wear whatever colour we like. So it's an action speak louder than words. And removing their bio from the website would speak volumes. Then, yes, Charles could have them round for a good old knees up at Sandringham. No one will give a shit. The bios need to come off the website. They are not working royals. Sorry, Harry, but you're not. He says, be right back, just going for a slash. Ralph and Harry equal same person. Well, you never know, do you? You never know. I was named after Princess Margaret, and my grandnephews call me Auntie Margaret. Oh, that's lovely. USA has enough trouble since Biden. Please take the Euro trash out. Yes, it's really embarrassing for us Brits because a prince of the realm shouldn't be in the United States interfering in your politics. Politics is one thing. That's bad enough. We're talking about your amendments and your constitutional rights. That's even worse. Really, Harry has to learn to shut the fuck up.
They're not allowed to interfere in politics in the UK either.
No.
The king is the only person who's not allowed to go in the Houses of Commons.
Can you imagine if, for example, Freddie Windsor, right, were to suddenly say, I think the Tories are a load of twats. All hell would break loose in the UK. Politicians from every side would say, how dare a member of the Windsor family tell us what to do? So for Harry to do it in America is ludicrous. Suicide.
Yes, they don't get involved in politics. The last guy who kicked the door and had everyone arrested in Parliament caused a civil war and got his head chopped off.
Well, CC, everybody can write to Buckingham Palace and ask why are they, I would address it to web developer at Buckingham Palace.
The king. Tell your web developer.
Well, yeah, why not?
In my opinion, this should be done. What do you think?
Let's see if we can get an address up.
Buckingham Palace address. Everyone knows what Buckingham Palace is.
Well, just in case
Anyone
they
Google
don't.
The words Buckingham Palace. Number 1, the Mall, London.
There you go. So Buckingham Palace, to their web developer, London SW1A 1AA UK.
And you need the postcode in case the postman doesn't know where the palace is.
Yeah, I mean, you could literally just put web developer, Buckingham Palace, London. And that would do the trick. But the postcode is there, or you can find it on Google. And you could all write and say, why are they both on the bio? The line of succession, that's a whole other legal argument. But the website bios, that's just down to the web developer. And it needs to be amended. Charles is shady, dealing in politics with Harry, and Magpie probably silent donor to Archwell. Maybe a silent. You could be right. You could be right, although they're apparently 11 million down on donations. So maybe Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry went,
the piffling 11 million.
Meghan is getting a new headrest for Christmas, an upturned log. We'll send it there from Amazon. They are part-time working royals. That's why they're still getting access. Well, then they're not even part-time, are they?
What do they do?
They haven't done any royal work. And there's a whole list, isn't there, of the work that the royals do.
But when you think about it, it's 140 grand that he's just been awarded. That won't pay for his plane fare from Montecito to London, because that's 160 grand in his private jet.
Quite agree with you, Elizabeth Madron. They should come off that website. Get out there and protest. They are not for my king and oil and other countries. Quite right. Don't call MM Magpie. That's my nickname. Oh, I just saw a Black Belt Red press summary. Yes, he did. There are two, when you go onto the Justice website, there are two downloads. One is the press summary, and the other one's the full judgment. And I just want to read the full judgment because there might be things that they missed in the press summary. And I bet you the Royal Grift is going to be
Plenty
reading the
that
full.
Sky News missed out in their reporting.
Oh, yes.
Loads.
They're so slimy. Sky News UK, not Sky News Australia.
Yeah.
Two totally different animals.
Sure.
Charles needs to remember he made a promise to serve. Well, it's time to serve that traitor and wolves and listen to the people. In defence of Charles, one of the first things he said was in his speech that William and Catherine were the new Prince and Princess of Wales, and he followed it up with, I wish Harry and Meghan well in their endeavours abroad. Yeah. And he has done things. He threw them out of Frogmore. That's a big thing. That's a big thing.
Charlie might do okay. You know, I'm giving him time.
Of course, we've got to give him a chance. Definitely give him a chance. I don't think that he interfered in the court case. I can see how people are going to draw that conclusion and think that, but I just don't think that. There are a lot of things I do think about the royal family, but that's not one of them. Right. I think we've been going an hour and 10 minutes, and we'll probably wrap it up now. You look a little bit tired.
Do I?
Yeah, you look like you want to have a bit of a nap.
Maybe. A whiskey.
A whiskey. So
yes,
thank
I
you.
might need a whiskey as a nightcap.
Thank you very, very much for joining us all. And same time tomorrow night. I think we'll stick with this time. So it'll be
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock UK time. And I've got...
No, it's 8 o'clock our time, 7 o'clock UK
That's right,
time.
7 o'clock UK time. 7 o'clock UK time. And I will put the link to the judgment before we go, just in case any of you want this. I mean, you can find it yourselves, but just to be helpful, because it took me a little while to find it.
It is out there.
And I'll just put that there, and then hopefully I can't pin comments, which is really weird.
Yeah, but they can copy it. They can copy it from the comments.
And then tomorrow night, I
it.
think we'll probably do it in there.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit more cozy. And maybe even wear pajamas.
Or something else.
We'll have a pajama party
Who
with
knows?
mince pies.
Good night, and may your God go with you.